What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Nourish with Renata podcast. Today, I am so excited to share with you one of the coolest, inspiring, wise, incredible women that I have in my life. And she's also been through just the most transformation in terms of her gut health. So I am thrilled to be able to present to you the amazing Maria. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on here. I'm super excited to be on here with you, Renata, because you really have helped me. But anyway, my name is Maria. I am a USA boxing coach. I have my own business called Champs Fight Club, and I operate out of a couple of boxing gyms. One is round for round boxing, and then the other one is timeless boxing, but more so round for round. I do conduct my own business there, and Saturdays are the most poppin' classes right now.
Yes.
But yeah, so I teach about 3 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. So I love boxing. Boxing has seriously changed my life. Since 2010, I just walked into a boxing gym and I never left. Although I have had so many injuries, I still continue to do it. I feel like boxing really keeps me young. It keeps me healthy, not only with my body, but like also my mind and my soul. And it's a great outlet for anyone to just relieve stress because everyone goes through stress, right? It doesn't matter. But yeah, so I love it. I love to teach it to other people and just help everyone find that empowerment that it has given me. And yeah, that's it.
I love it so much. And Maria is obviously my boxing coach, which is how we know each other. She's taught me so much. And what's been really cool is we've also kind of flipped the script a little bit. And I've been helping her with her nutrition, most specifically her gut health. So, Maria, I'd love for you to share a little bit about what your gut health was like before we started working together. What were you experiencing? Why was this an area you really wanted to improve?
Yeah, so for most of my life, I just eat whatever I want, first of all. But my gut health hasn't like I feel like my I have a really weak stomach. Just from the fact that the many bad choices I made as far as like consuming bad food or just like too much drinking, because that all affects the lining of your stomach, I would expect. But I was always like bloated, feelings of like indigestion. Sometimes I wouldn't have bowel movements for like I would say the longest probably maybe 4 days, somewhere right there. It was really bad. And
Yikes.
mhm. And always like burping. Like I just realized now that like I don't even burp as much anymore, which I think is good. Uh
Yeah.
so just really indigestion, bloating, and the bowel movements were a huge issue for me before I started working with Renata. And so after Renata had given me all the tips, the number one tip is drink more water. And I think that one thing right there is really a game changer. So I started drinking the recommended amount of water that Renata gave to me. And then it was just like almost instant change within my body. Like my bowel movements were more regular on the daily, sometimes twice a day. And then
Which was
I
huge for you because you're coming from a time when it was like maybe you'd have a one bowel movement every 4 days, and now you're like, oh my gosh, having a bowel movement daily.
yeah, and then sometimes it was hard to have a bowel movement, to be honest. Like, and but once I implemented the water, like that came more regularly, and there was no issues of the bowel movement. And then the water really just helped me a lot. I have to say the energy that I've gotten from it, like I don't feel so tired like all the time. Even though like I do a lot of work, like I still just feel a lot of energy, even though I'm tired. It doesn't make really sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah. Um yeah, so drink water, number one. That goes for anybody because we're made up of water, right? So
Mm.
we gotta continuously drink it to nourish our bodies, right?
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Um, and then another thing, I started implementing the kimchi because I love kimchi,
Yes.
and that's for the fiber, right? So
Fiber and
doing
probiotics. Yeah.
yeah, fiber and probiotics. So I'll literally just eat kimchi and rice, and I love it. It's so good. So those are the two things I've been working on probably the most. I mean, I don't eat kimchi and rice every day, so but I would. Yes, I definitely would. But yeah, that's how it's really helped me.
I love that. That's a huge
Mhm.
share and two really incredible tips for people as well. I think the other thing that blew your mind a little bit when we were talking about elevating your gut health was eating 30 different kinds of plant foods every week. Would you agree?
Oh yes, I love that part too because I was like, how am I going to eat 30 different vegetables in a week? So yeah, but yeah, that was definitely one too. I like doing that one.
Awesome. So now that your gut health has improved, you've said a little bit more about, how your bowel movements have improved. Are you also experiencing less bloating?
Oh yeah, less bloating, and then like I said, I'm not burping as much. I don't have a lot of gas, really.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is huge because I also remember a story that you told me, and I think it was like you were dared to eat like this incredibly hot sauce. Was it that?
Oh, that story. Yes. So it was kind of like that, when you go to a crawfish boil, and it was a family crawfish boil that I went to, and you have the little silver bowl, you have all the crawfish in there, you eat it all, whatever, it's all gone, but at the bottom of the bowl is all the juice that it left over. So I did this bet with my stepdad and my uncle. They're like, "Oh, drink it." Okay, mind you, I'm like less than 15 or maybe around that age. And I'm like, okay, cool. $20? All right, I'm gonna do it. So I chugged it, and then instantly after I finished it, my lips, my whole like esophagus, the lining of my stomach, like I could just feel the shape of all of that. And like I was constantly just throwing up after that, and it was not a good thing. I think that right there messed my stomach up at a young
Mm.
age.
Yeah. And so that's why it's so cool to now be able to implement these things on a daily basis that really help you to heal your gut lining. So you might
Hmm.
actually find, and maybe have an example of this is if you do eat something that you don't normally eat, your recovery time is actually faster because your gut health has been elevated and optimized so much that your body is not continuing to have those kinds of reactions.
Yes, and I'd like to mention because, I told you one of my vices is like chips and salsa, right?
Yes.
So, like, usually when I eat chips and salsa, I get really bloated and stuff like that. But I have been eating not as much as before, but I have like recently been eating like some chips and like this spicy green sauce is so good. It's right by Round for Round Boxing. That's where you get it. But like I don't get like bloated or like indigestion. I'm not like burping constantly because usually that's what happens when I eat chips and salsa. But no, none of that.
That's huge. I love
Mhm.
that. That's literally the perfect example for showing how well your body has recovered, specifically your gut health, because now you're able to process these things that perhaps before were giving you some really negative reactions. So I love that. That's huge.
Yes, and I have you to thank for that. Seriously. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. So now that your gut health has reached this level, what's next? Where else or how else do you want to improve your health through your nutrition?
Mm, so gut health, yeah, continuously working on gut health for sure. I feel like I could still eat a little bit more fiber and stuff like that, but as far as like my overall health through nutrition, um I just want to be able to eat more. How about that? I don't feel like I'm eating enough. No, I'm for sure not eating enough. So I need to eat more. And so I need to find like some meal prepper or something.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
what you're referring to is because you also do intermittent fasting, which is where you
Hmm.
have a particular window where you eat and a particular window during the day that you do not eat. And that works really well for you, which is fantastic. And noting how active you are and your specific health goals, what Maria is really referring to is we want to make sure we're eating enough protein to help with that specific body goal. And this is going to be different for each person. So, one of the things that we've discussed previously is making sure we're getting enough protein at each meal. And so, I love that reflection and awareness because it's important for people to remember that health is not a mountain that you get to the top of and then you're good to go. Like it's just like, whoop, got that. Now I don't have to worry about it. It's really a journey. It's really that mountain with no top. And it's a continuous work in progress. It's continuously how we grow and develop and create that consistency over time so we have the long-term sustainable results. And so I love that you have that reflection to share with everyone because it is important to remember like this isn't just a one and done. This is a lifestyle that you're creating.
Exactly. But yes, the protein definitely need to consume more of that for sure.
Love that. Okay, so that is all about your amazing gut health transformation, and you'll continue doing that. I think this is going to be such an inspiration for so many people because I've spoken to probably like 3 or 4 people in the last week that have said very similar things that you shared today. So thank you so much for sharing your gut health journey. And I'd love for you to share how people can get in contact with you if they want to try out your boxing.
Oh, yes, for sure. So, you can follow me on TikTok. I got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, in what did I say? Facebook, YouTube as well. Box with MC is my handle. Uh, I have links up on my Instagram that you can just click and book a free class. Your first 30-minute is with me one on one is free. It's called an evaluation. So just see where you're at and then see how I can help you. Also, your first class is also on me. So, I operate Tuesdays, Thursdays at 7 a.m. and then I do Saturdays at 8 a.m. normally, but I'm always doing like free events and then also like special events on Saturdays around like 8:30. So, just follow me and then stay in tune and we can get it.
Yeah, I love that. So, my last question for you is what would be one last piece of wisdom that you'd like to share with people today?
One last piece of wisdom that I can give everyone today would be very mindful of like how you're breathing and
Mm.
maybe take like I always give people like at least 15 breaths. Just pause, like especially if you're having like stress and like you have a huge workload, maybe you just pause for like however many seconds, maybe a minute and just breathe for like 15 breaths with your stomach in through the nose and yeah, just focus on that for just 15 breaths and then go about your day. That's it.
I love this because it's also related to gut health. And I don't think I've spoken about this with you before.
No.
So, oftentimes when we're stressed out, we're in that fight or flight mode, right? And so our body is literally pumping blood away from our digestive system to our limbs, to our hands, to our feet, so that we can either fight, right, with our hands or run away. And so, as a result, if we're in a constant state of stress, we're not getting enough blood flow to the digestive system. So, what I love about your words of wisdom is when we intentionally breathe, especially right before you're going to digest something or eat a meal, this actually helps to not only release your stress, but also redirect the blood flow because now we're moving into the rest and digest system instead of the fight or flight. So we're allowing all that blood flow to come back to the digestive system. We're finding ease, we're finding grace, we're releasing stress in our bodies. And so this is actually going to help you to digest better so that your gut health really does improve. So it's totally aligned. I love that. Amazing.
That's awesome. You see how things work? That's great. I didn't even know that.
So good. Always perfectly aligned. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for being here on the podcast, guys. Definitely, if you're in the Houston area, make sure to reach out to Maria. I cannot recommend her highly enough. She is amazing. I learned so much from her all the time during our boxing classes or one on ones. And honestly, we have the best time whenever we're together, too. Lots of laughs, lots of sweat, and always a great time. So thank you, Maria, for being here.
Yes, thank you, Renata, for inviting me. Hope we do this again.
Always. Yes. 100%.
Awesome. Well,
Okay.
yeah, have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.